Any final thoughts before we wrap up? Be just particularly when considering that we have heads of school and senior leaders and teachers at school here who are thinking about how they might best have conversations with their learners about their use of generative AI tools from the perspective of language. Is there anything you'd want to focus on?
Yeah, I think maybe two things. One is the critical thinking dimension of it and setting up exercises and interactions where we're all invited to analyze critically the way that we ourselves are telling stories about AI. We tend to tell them either as kind of friend or foe narratives, right? So AI is either this very dangerous future enemy disguised as a current friend whose mission is to annihilate us, or AI is a really great technological advance that is opening up all sorts of fields and facilitating all sorts of procedures and interactions in a way that can only be a good thing. And of course, AI is both of those, or potentially both of those, because we have both those aptitudes, but we have every aptitude in between. Between good and bad are all the shades of everything else, right? So I think some critical thinking about the relationship between how we speak about AI and how we perceive AI is always going to be a really good thing. But the other thing that I think would be really interesting for children, especially to do, would be to envisage ways in which they think that that human communication is unique to humans and that AI might not be able to emulate these particular traits. So if you were to ask a kid, which ways of communication do you have that AI does not have? First of all, you'd get lots of interesting insights into what kids think communication is and what is central to their individual form of communication. It may be touch, it may be facial expressions, it may be something else that we don't know, something more related to language, and that would be interesting to find out about. Because I'm interested in implicit communication, I'm fascinated to know which aspects of implicit communication AI can master and which it may not be able to master. It's a subject I'd love to explore, and I think that kids would be really good at exploring this because they're still a lot more plastic and flexible and fluid in their understanding of what is included in communication. And they're also probably the ones who are going to have to determine in the future how they can escape the big brother eye of AI should they need to. And that's how you could present this game. AI is a big brother and we need to communicate without it understanding us. How are we going to do that? Are we going to do it by signs, by body language, by secret coded communication? And what is that going to be? So I think that's a long-winded answer to a question about my last thoughts about communication and AI. But I think that as far as children are concerned, encourage critical thinking, show them that they're the boss of AI because they can see how we are being invited to think about AI in certain ways, and they can rise above those ways of being influenced by language. On the other hand, start thinking about what forms of communication do we have that are unique to us and that AI will not master. Poetry, in my opinion, is one of those. AI poetry is absolutely terrible. No matter how much we try to improve it, it's still palpably bad. So what is it about poetry that seems to be so far unique to human communication. That's worth exploring.